The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The Interior Department is instructing local DRRMCs or Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Councils to brace for Super Typhoon Mawar while it's still outside the Philippine area of responsibility. The DILG tells its regional directors to coordinate with DRRMCs and to remind all local governments to prepare for the Super Typhoon, which is expected to enter PAR over the weekend. All LGUs are also told to monitor PAGASA, weather advisories, and conduct hazard assessments. Local DRRMCs are likewise expected to conduct pre-disaster risk assessments for floods, flash floods, rain-induced landslides, debris flow, and strong winds. As of 3 a.m., Super Typhoon Mawar was spotted by PAGASA at 2,215 kilometers east of Visayas. It is packing maximum sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 230 kilometers per hour. PAGASA says it's likely to enter PAR by Saturday, and it will be given the local name Betty. The Weather Bureau is expecting high chances of rain today, not because of the Super Typhoon, but mainly because of the southwesterly wind flow and localized thunderstorms. Heavy rains are expected in the Zamboanga Peninsula, BARMM, and Palawan, while Metro Manila and the rest of the country will experience cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. PAGASA says Mawar is still not expected to make landfall in the Philippines, but it's likely to enhance the southwest monsoon.
Sa ngayon din ho, malit pa rin yung tsansa na ito ay tumama sa kalupaan ng Pilipinas. Pero mas ang tinitingnan ho natin, posible itong mag-trigger ho ng pagpapalakas ng hanging habagat o tinatawag natin na southwest monsoon. Kaya ho posible bandang linggo o lunes sa susunod na next week ay posible pong maging maulan, particular na sa bahagi ho ng western section ho ng Luzon, ng Visayas at pare po umabot pati dito sa Mindanao.
The Social Welfare Department and the Philippine Coast Guard said they are on standby mode for Super Typhoon Mawar, which will be locally named Betty once it enters the Philippine area of responsibility. Social Welfare Secretary Rex Gatchalian says the agency is already augmenting efforts to stock up on food packs for around 30,000 to 50,000 families in Ilocos and Cagayan Valley regions. Meanwhile, the Philippine Coast Guard is also preparing relief supplies and family packs that will be distributed to evacuation centers.
We've already started mobilizing as early as this weekend. So the food packs will be there, and then our field officers are now tasked to work with the local government units to see to it that the local government units in those areas that may be affected know that the logistical support of the DSWD is around.
The Asian Development Bank will provide up to $4 billion in financial grants for the Philippines this year. ADB President Masatsugu Asakawa said this would support the government's socio-economic agenda, as well as its initiatives under the Build Better More program, such as the Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge project. The ADB earlier announced a $14 billion assistance package from 2022 to 2023 for developing member countries. On Monday, President Bongbong Marcos made a commitment with the ADB to hold fast to his responsibilities.
The Philippines stands to greatly benefit from this mutually beneficial relationship with the ADB. We are aware of the responsibilities that this relationship carries with it. But we will re-echo my father's words during the ADB inauguration some 57 years ago. We will meet those responsibilities.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The rollout of COVID-19 bivalent vaccines in the country faces some hitches as the Health Department reports a delay in the arrival of the doses. The DOH explains there are still permits needed to be coordinated for the arrival of the bivalent vaccines. This after the DOH initially said it was expecting 400,000 doses of the bivalent vaccine this week. Despite this, the agency assures that it is exhausting all efforts to receive the vaccines by the end of the month. The DOH also assures that the memorandum for the implementation and rollout of the vaccine has already been signed and is only waiting to be released. The agency also says it has yet to get an actual number of individuals who have availed of the second booster, since it was approved for the general population last month. This due to the ongoing migration of its vaccine information management system. As of March 20, the DOH reports that nearly 4.4 million individuals have availed of their second booster shots against COVID-19. 3 more suspects in the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo have recanted their earlier testimonies. Legal counsel attorney Danny Villanueva said his clients were tortured into implicating themselves and Congressman Arnie Teves in the crime. So far, 4 alleged gunmen, namely Romel Pataguan, Rogelio Antipolo Jr., Daniel Lora, and Judiel Rivero, have withdrawn their statements. Teves' camp welcomed this development, while the prosecution said they will look into the motive behind the suspects' recantations.
Torture in the sense na may pananakot at banta sa kanila na may mangyayaring masama sa kanila at sa kanilang pamilya kung hindi sila makikipagtulungan doon sa kung ano ang gusto ng ating mga otoridad na palabasin.
The Philippine National Police denies allegations of torture and coercion against one of the suspects in the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo. According to PNP-PIO Chief Redrico Maranan, the allegations made by suspect Judiel Rivero that he was tortured while in police custody are baseless. Rivero also claimed that his family was threatened unless he confessed to the role he played in the killing. Despite this, the PNP said it will still investigate the incident and determine if there have been any human rights violations.
Base sa mga sinasabi ng mga nag-imbestiga, wala pa naman tayong nakikitang evidence leading to that accusation. Pagka meron talagang ebidensya na nagsasabi na yung mga pulis natin ay nai-involve dyan, gaya nga ng sinabi ko, may batas na umiiral dyan, yung Republic Act 9745. So gagawin ng PNP ang nararapat niyang gawin base doon sa umiiral na batas.
ABS-CBN is entering into a joint venture with Romualdez-led Prime Media Holdings, where House Speaker Martin Romualdez is a majority stakeholder. The joint venture was approved by ABS-CBN's Board of Directors on Tuesday. The 2 companies will apply with the SEC to incorporate the new company with an initial capital stock of 100 million pesos, consisting of 100 million shares at 1 peso apiece. The joint venture will have an initial paid-in capital of 40 million pesos. ABS-CBN will have a minority stake in the venture at 49%, while Prime Media will be the majority stakeholder with a 51% equity. The new company that will emerge from this partnership will supply content and programs to broadcasters and third-party platforms like the Philippine Collective Media Corporation. The undertaking will also offer employment opportunities for personnel affected by Teleradyo's closure set on June 30. For ABS-CBN, the partnership with Prime Media provides it with an additional revenue stream through equity investment and share in the projects of the joint venture. Prime Media is a subsidiary of RYM Business Management Corporation, a holding firm owned by Romualdez. Veteran stock market analyst Jonathan Ravelas told The Big Story that this deal could be a positive engagement for both companies.
Hopefully, it will allay the fears about press freedom. No? I think we will probably try to see that being tested. No? But at the same time, this will actually put Prime Media subsidiaries into a nationwide scale. No? So, again, this is something that in the past years, we've seen that most of our networks are Luzon-based, no? So this time we're probably going to see something that will try to balance content between the Visayas, Mindanao, and eventually where Luzon is.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.